Welcome to the Charleston Real Estate Connection Podcast, connecting and reconnecting you with all things Charleston. I am your host, Nia Joy, your Golden Realtor, licensed in the state of South Carolina. Welcome to the show. Hello and welcome to the 10th episode of the Charleston Real Estate Connection Podcast. I'm so excited today. I have with us a very special 10th episode guest. You may have seen her around Charleston, maybe at maybe singing. Maybe you saw her recent YouTube video that's kind of been being passed around Charleston and all over the country by now. She is actually a certified speech language pathologist. She is also an author, mother, wife. She also teaches at the university, and she's also a child language expert. Oh, I have so much I can say about her. I want to introduce to you Jessica Berry, Dr. Berry, if you're fancy. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to be with you.
Oh my goodness. Your personality is infectious. Anybody who knows Jessica is just a lively person, just full of energy. Thank you.
Yes.
So
you are welcome.
Yes. So Jessica, I know that you have many, many talents, but what I would like to talk about first, we do this with all of our guests on the show today. We asked them about their connection to Charleston, and I want to hear about your connection to the Charleston area.
Listen, I am born and raised low country girl. Born and raised in Hughie, South Carolina. We have like one stoplight, and it's not even in Hughie, right? But so born and raised in Hughie, by way of Mount Pleasant. So I also spent a lot of time in 6 Mile, Snowden community, went through Berkeley County schools. So Charleston is home and I love it.
Yes. And Charleston loves you back. We're doing some great things that we're going to talk about later in the show about how you're talking more about Charleston and the culture. So Jessica, tell us a little bit about what you enjoy doing, maybe some about your career and background. I know you have many facets about what you're doing. You now have a vlog that you're doing. Can you just tell us a little bit about J Berry Collective and your business love story?
Yeah, so I do a lot. And so I was sitting there just trying to think about like, how do I create a business that can encompass everything that I do? So I came up with J Berry Collective because literally it's a collective of everything that I do, from singing to motivational speaking. I love to do seminars about the Gullah Geechee language. So anybody who wants to learn what it is, what does it sound like, what's the history of it? I love stuff like that, especially with our educators, because I have a passion for the next generation of scholars. I enjoy teaching. So I teach at South Carolina State University in Speech Pathology and Audiology. And I always try to find a way to weave Gullah in there as much as I can, just to help our students recognize that, like, look, you Geechee and that's okay. Like, that's really, really cool. So I enjoy teaching. I enjoy singing. So I do that a lot. All over the low country. I would say I enjoy writing. I don't really enjoy writing, but I do it just because, sort of kind of have to do it, right?
I don't know. I'm gonna let you go on. I'm gonna disagree with you about the writing part, but that's fine. You can say that everybody has their weaknesses. Okay.
Yes. Everybody has those, but you have to sort of overcome them. So that's been my thing, like overcoming that. I don't want to write and just write, just do it. So those are some of the things that I enjoy. J Berry Collective is a multifaceted company where it houses all of who I am and all of what I do. And I hope that it expands to be able to be a resource for the community. So I look for J Berry Collective in the future to provide like first generation college student seminars, because I meet a lot of first-gen college students. I was a first-gen college student, and so I want to help them be more prepared to get a head start in the academic setting. Providing Gullah Geechee seminars and a platform for we Geechee people to express who we are and what we bring to the table. So J Berry Collective is growing, and yeah, I mean that's who I am. That's what I love to do, and I love to spend time with my kids, of course, and my husband. Family time, like that's important.
Of course, I think if anybody follows you, we know that you are super wife mom, and not that you try to be, I should say, but we know that that's just embedded in your fibers. That's who you are, and it shines through all of your work. So.
Yeah, it's important for me to be that example for my girls. Like I want them to see, like you can work, you can have a business, you can be a just woman power. You know what I mean?
Especially right now, we're celebrating International Women's Month or Women's History. This is a good time. This is a good time.
Yeah.
A perfect time for you coming on the show. A couple episodes from here, I'm gonna be doing a quick homage to the Black culture, Charleston, and some things. So I really wanted to bring you on board, and you being a woman, Women's History Month, thank you for all that you do.
Yes, absolutely. It is a pleasure to serve. I love it. It's a passion of mine, and I wake up every day to do it. Why not?
Yes, it definitely oozes. It oozes. So yes,
yeah.
Sharing that with us. I'm looking forward to seeing the things that you're going to be doing with J Berry Collective. Love it.
Thank you.
So as far as the things that you're doing with the company, I've seen how everything is perfectly woven in there. I mean, it's almost really, you don't have to try. And I love that about your brand, that you don't really have to try to be anything but you, and being scholarly the way you are. I'm really fascinated by the fact that you studied the Geechee Gullah culture, and y'all boy be up in here from Jessica on YouTube. I saw the YouTube video, and I know personally my story when I went to college it was a hard time for me to transition when I was in my casual setting. I mean, obviously I wouldn't talk like that all the time with my parents, but the culture and understanding the Geechee language. Could you just kind of tell people a little bit about that? Because I think there's a lot of misconceptions you can kind of give. I know you don't have all day, but.
Oh yeah, I can give a short and sweet. Gullah Geechee is a language. It is not broken English, and it is important for our generation and the next generation and the next generation to no longer be ashamed of that. It's how we talk. It has rules. It has grammar. It's a structured language, just like mainstream English. And so I'm always an advocate for us to learn how to code switch and use mainstream English whenever we can, but we don't have to, and it's our choice. And so I'm also an advocate for choice. And so Gullah Geechee, and my favorite saying, if you get my book on the back of it, is Gullah Geechee Banya ain't going nowhere. Because look, we are here, and we're a representation of everything that happened before. So it's something to be proud of. I think here recently, a lot of people have kind of jumped on to this idea of celebrating the culture, and I'm so happy about that. To see it spread across the country and internationally, that people are finally celebrating the treasure, because it's a treasure. It's unique to the United States. It's the only English-based Creole language living in the United States. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, the only one.
Wow. And that's historically how it's been.
That's how it's been. So we have the French Creole, which a lot of people know of in Louisiana, but Gullah is an English-based Creole. And so it's the only one that's thriving and living across the corridor. So it's something to be proud of. And I know, like you said, a lot of us, it wasn't until we left and we went to college where we were like, oh, wait, wait, there's another language, there's another culture out here.
I mean, I know clearly, growing up, in Mount Pleasant district schools, I mean, obviously, you had to write a certain way, or to get to do well in school. Yes, I got that. However, when it came down to it, like, we were just comfortable with being who we were and speaking that way. And I love it when I'm around my people. I know my husband's from Maryland, so he was like, what are they saying? He'd be like, huh? I'm sorry. Like, he's really not disrespectful, but I love how you you really bring the modern aspect of today's culture, and you really embrace it. And I really appreciate that. You know, I'm highly educated. I have a master's degree, but I know it gives a lot of people like us permission to say, you know what, celebrate this.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why actually when I did that YouTube video, it was literally just, I was sitting in the house and my husband's from Orangeburg. So he's also the same way, like, what did they say? Tell me again what your daddy said. So I'm like translating between us. And I was sitting there and I was like, you know what, Wilma, I always have to translate. I'm going to do a quick video to show people how to code switch. And so it really was just meant to be lighthearted and fun and just a way to say, look, it's okay. This is what we do. And I'm glad that it resonated with the community in this positive way.
Yeah. It really did, Jessica. It really did. And I love that. And I look forward to seeing a lot of your work that you're doing to keep bridging things. And I know it might have started off as being that way, but it was truly enlightening for me. And we all come to it. I mean, that's why we share videos, right? Because we can, you know, and laugh. I'm laughing. So, and I'm gonna put that in the show notes for those of you who want to share that video.
Yes.
You to watch it, enjoy it. So thank you.
Absolutely.
So the last thing I really want to get into with you is your new book. Your new book.
Yes.
I'm so excited. Yes. And I love the video intro. I mean, tell us more about your book.
Okay, so this is my new book, and it's literally a little book. I get excited about it because a lot of people are like, when they get it, they're like, it's really little, like it's really, really tiny. But this is, I call this my little baby. It's the Little Gullah Geechee Book, A Guide for the Kamya, and it was inspired by some educators, actually. So I do some sessions with Charleston County School District to educate educators about Gullah and what it is so that children will have a better classroom experience. And what I learned was each time I did these sessions, the teachers asked me the same questions. What is Gullah? What's the difference between Gullah and Geechee? What kind of words do you say? Where does it come from? What should I do? What should I not do? What should I say? Where can I go? And so I thought, you know what? I keep answering the same questions. Let me just write it down in a book for anybody who's new to the area, who wants to learn more about the culture and the language quickly. This is a very short, brief guide just to give you some background knowledge, some grammar, and to sort of enlighten you on our grammar rules, some short phrases, do's and don'ts, because there's some things you just don't do.
Oh, I'm just curious to see what's in there. I gotta read that. I'm gonna.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So it's awesome.
Now I know you said, I know your books are also being sold on Amazon.
Yes.
In addition to Amazon, locally people can buy your books, right?
Yes. So you can head over to the Riverview. I'm trying to find the name of it. So, okay, it's the River Watch Cafe and Gift Shop at the Mount Pleasant Pier. Okay. They have some copies there. River Watch Cafe and Gift Shop at the Mount Pleasant Pier is where it is currently locally. Hopefully it'll be in a few more places. And actually recently I had a few real estate agents well, I wouldn't say real estate agents, but people who own rental properties down there have bought them and they're sitting in their rental properties. So when people visit the area, they can read about the culture and learn some places to go. So,
well, that's awesome. I'm about to have my Airbnb is gonna be open this year. I'm gonna go and drop me a copy in there. And
absolutely.
I'm actually gonna buy a copy for myself and 3 more just to give to some of my clients that are relocating to the area. I think that'd be awesome when you're relocating here.
Yes.
Pick up some copies, have them sent to the house. That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, that would be that was a neat idea. I didn't think of that. That was somebody who owns property in Charleston had that idea. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat for those who are relocating to learn more about the culture.
I know there's just so many misconceptions about the Gullah Geechee culture, and I love how you've encompassed some of that in the book. And I'm sure that this is probably going to be a springboard so many people want more.
I hope so.
Can you tell us like a few different misconceptions, or I want to say maybe even some understanding a little bit about the difference of the Geechee Gullah culture? I know we probably don't have time to go into it in depth, but That's probably the biggest one I think that people have questions about.
Misconceptions. So a lot of people think that Gullah is slang, and it's not. It's a rule-governed language. I spend a lot of time in my book in chapter 3, as a matter of fact, outlining some of the very structured grammar patterns that we follow in the language. So that's probably one of the major misconceptions, is that the language is slang, but it's really a mixture of English and various African languages like Yoruba, Mende, and Hitu. So we see vestiges of those African languages left in what we do, in the rhythm of our speech, and how we put our words together and how we make our sentences. And I think probably the other misconception is that Gullah Geechee is some sort of separate entity, but really it's the culture, it's the people, and the language are all Gullah Geechee.
Okay. It's
yeah.
Kind of like one and the same then?
It's one and the same, yeah. So the terms Gullah Geechee are, so like I'm a Gullah Geechee person, I speak a Gullah Geechee language, and I live a Gullah Geechee culture. It's all encompassing. Okay. And here recently, a lot of people try to make distinctions between the terms Gullah and Geechee. And while there's some distinctions, like I would say my grandma spoke Gullah because she used a lot of African vernacular, African words. Whereas I would say I speak more Geechee because I don't use as much African words, but I still use the same tone and the same intonation in how I speak. But all in all, it's Gullah Geechee, one and the same.
Wow. I kind of learned something new from that, because I never really understood the differentiation between the two personally. I knew what it meant. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's to be able to say that and break it down by somebody who's an expert like you. I think that's saying something, and that's something I can definitely take home. And put in my toolkit. So I'm just fascinated by all the things that you have going on. And again, I look forward to grabbing a copy of the book. Grab a copy of the Little
Gullah Geechee Book.
Gullah Geechee Book.
A guide for the Kamya.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to that, Jessica. So in addition to the book and any other things you have going on, what else can we look for in the coming future?
Actually, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see, like today I just posted, I'll be featured on Taste the Nation with Padma, coming up in June on Hulu. So that's really exciting. She came down to Charleston and did a series or episode on Gullah Geechee culture and food. So that was really nice to lend my expertise to that. I definitely have a couple book signings coming up, one on Johns Island in March, and hopefully a few other things in between.
Oh man, we're excited. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. People can come in and you get a signed copy of the book.
Yes.
That's really dope. I'm excited for you and all the things that you're doing and working in all your many gifts.
Thank you. God's been good.
Without mentioning the album.
Yes.
Can't leave. We cannot end this without. Can we just talk about the album right quick?
Okay, so yes, last May, Mother's Day, I released a single called Water Walker. It was my second song, but I really think it's like my first, because it was really the one that I was like really passionate about. But it is an anthem, in my opinion, to anybody who just wants to take the next step, whatever that looks like. So it encourages you to just walk out on the water, do what it is you want to do. I'm evidence of it. In January, I said, you know what, I'm starting my business, and I did it. So I'm a water walker, and that song is just out there to inspire the next gen of water walkers.
Yes, I love it.